our troops coming home from war tonight. The U.S. drawdown officially underway with 10,000 soldiers expected to return by year's end. But there's an enemy waiting for them even after they leave the front lines.
And in a lot of cases, it can be deadly. ABC 15's Steve Koosh goes in depth to show you what you need to know now to save our heroes' lives.
After years in the military, Jeremiah Pulaski, a 24-year-old soldier in the Army, came back home from the war in Afghanistan. He may have left the fighting, but the fighting never left him.
We don't want to be seen as crazy.
Pulaski shared his depressed feelings on Facebook, writing, among other things, "I have to figure out how to undo 5 years of military training so I can feel a soul again." The overwhelming emotion and pain came to an end on a cold March night in Glendale. Pulaski got into a shootout with police and was killed. Doctors say the incredible mental stresses from his time in combat may have pushed him to snap.
The stress of knowing that, you're overseas, you're in a war zone, any day you could be killed.
It's called post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. It causes extreme anxiety, depression, anger. Pulaski was never officially diagnosed, but doctors and his family believe he suffered from it. Phoenix veteran Brittany Hodge tells me she developed PTSD fighting in Afghanistan.
When you look at something like this, what goes through your head? What do you think about?
My friends that didn't make it home.
Brittany said the everyday violence and life-threatening situations slowly changed her, and then the worst of it.
There was a fire that killed 2 little kids, and I was first responder. I was first there, so dealing with these kids that I'm watching die, it was pretty intense.
Afterwards, Brittany says she was no longer the same person her friends and family knew.
Small things would set me off, and I didn't know why. I really didn't know what was going on. I couldn't sleep. And when I did sleep, I was having nightmares.
Currently in the U.S., there's probably 5.2 million people who have PTSD.
The House Armed Services Committee claims PTSD affects 1 in every 5 soldiers, most of whom will never admit it.
When you're looking at a culture like the military, where they are taught, do your job and not let it bother you, one might get from that is that if I show emotions or if this is still bothering me, that means I'm weak.
It's a way of thinking that the Phoenix VA healthcare system says keeps many from seeking help. At their PTSD group therapy sessions, dozens of empty chairs and a quiet room tells the real story.
There's that stigma that PTSD equals crazy, you're, insane or something, because they see people with PTSD going off and having a shootout with police, getting themselves killed.
For the troops who won't get help, Brittany says the military needs to go to them and push them to, because even heroes sometimes need a hand. Steve Koosh, ABC 15 News.
The VA tells us it's very important for families of anyone at risk, not just members of the military, to look for problems or changes in mood or behavior. So here are the 4 key signs of PTSD: irritability, sleeplessness, avoidance, and depression. Now, a push from you to seek help can get those suffering from PTSD on their way to recovery, either to the VA or to private therapists. If you want more information, go to abc15.com or look for the story front and center on our homepage.